meet again in thunder, lightning, or in rain.
When the hurly-burly is done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grey Malkin.
Paddock calls.
Anon. Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
Oh, brother! What bloody man is that? Why, he can report of revolt. The new estate.
This is the sergeant who, like a good and hearty soldier, fought against my brother's captivity.
Hail, brave friend! Say to the king in knowledge of the broil, as thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald do swarm upon them, but all's not well. For brave Macbeth, well, he deserves that name. Disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, carved out a passage till he faced the slave, unseamed him from knave to chap, and fixed his head upon our battlement.
Valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
Mark, King of Scotland, mark! No sooner justice valor had compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supply of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo.
Yes, as sparrows, eagles, or the hare, the lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were, as cannons, overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe, but I am faint, my gashes cry for help.
So well thy words become thee as thy wounds. They smack of honor both. Go, get him surgeons.
Hail, King!
Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
What a haste looks through his eyes. So should he look that seeks to speak things strange.
God save the king.
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, where Norwegian banners flout the skies and fan our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict. Till Evelana's bridegroom, Lapton proof, met him with self-comparisons, curbing his latter spirit, and to conclude, the victory! Thus!
Great happiness. No more that Thane of Cawdor shall disturb our interest. Go, pronounce his present death, and with his former title, greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Where hast thou been?
Killing swan. Where thou?
A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched and munched and munched. Give me, quoth I, a rumpy which the rump and runyon cries. Her husband's to Aleppo gone, master of the tiger, but in a sieve I'll thither sail, and like a wretch without a tail, I'll do, and I'll do.
I'll give thee a win.
Thou art kind.
And I another.
I my half, all the other. I shall drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lids. he shall live, a man forbid. Weary Senites 9 times 9 shall he dwindle, peak, and pine. Though his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest-tossed. Look what I have.
Show me! Show me!
Here, I have a pilot's thumb, wrecked as homeward he did come.
A drum, Macbeth doth come.
The weird ones, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land, thus do go about, thrice to thine,
And thrice to
And thrice again to make up.
9. Peace.
The charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is called for it? What are these? So withered and so wild in their attire, they look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are aught. Live you? Were you off that mon may question? You seem to understand me by each of once a chappy fingers lays upon her skinny lips. And you should be women, and your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so.
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Bloms.
all hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Codor.
All hail, Macbeth. Thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things which do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or that which outwardly ye show? To my noble partner you greet with present grace and great prediction of noble having and royal hope, that he seems rapt with all. But to me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and see which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me. You neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate.
Hail!
Hail!
Lesser than Macbeth, but greater.
Not so happy, but much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth. All hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By my father's death I know I am Thane of Gloms, but how of Codor? The Thane of Codor lives, a prosperous gentleman. And to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Codor. Say from whence you all this strange intelligence, and why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting? Speak! I charge you!
The earth has bubbles as a water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
The air. And what seemed solid vanished as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed.
Were such things here that we do speak about? Or we eaten on the insane root that takes a reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings,
You shall be king.
and Codor too, went it not so?
Self same tune and words. Wait, who's here? Oh! Hey! Come in!
Greetings.
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success.
Thick as hail came post with post, and everyone did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defense, and poured them down before him.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, and for an earnest of a greater honor, he bade us from him call thee Thane of Codor.
What, can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Codor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose.
Whether he combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebels with hidden help and vantage, we know not. But treason's capital, confessed and proven, have overthrown him.
Gloms and Codor. The greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings, then those that promised Codor to me be no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you to the crown besides the Thane. But this is strange, and oftentimes instruments of darkness do tell you honest trifles to betrays in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you.
truths are told, as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. Cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion, whose horrid image doth unfix my hair, and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not. If chance will have me king, why, chance may crown me, without my stir. Come what come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthiest Macbeth, we stay upon your legend.
Ah, give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Good gentles, your pains are registered where every day I turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and at more time let us speak our free hearts to each other.
Very gladly.
Till then, toward the king.
To the king!
To the king!
To the king!
Please, kind gentles.
Please, this way to the great king.
To the king.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by a prophetess report that they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor. By which title before, these weird ones saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time with, Hail, King who shall be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be that which thou hast been promised. Yet still I fear thy nature. It is too full the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, though not without ambition, yet without the illness should attend it. Hie me hither, that I may pour my spirit into thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid hath had thee crowned with all. Oh, what are your tidings?
Our king comes tonight.
Oh, thou must be mad. Oh, is thy master with them? Who were it so would have informed for preparation?
To please you, it is true. One of the messengers had the speed of him, who almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than would make his message.
Oh, give him great tendings. He brings great news.
Madam, I will.
The raven is hoarse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here. Fill me from the crown to the toe-top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunction visiting shake my fell purpose, nor bring peace between the effect and it. Oh, come to my woman's breast and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substance you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall me with the dunnest smokes of hell, that my keen knife see not the wounded makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, Hold! Hold! Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both to all hail hereafter. Oh, your letter transported me from this ignorant presence, and I see the future now in an instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, ne'er shall sun the morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is like a book where men may read strange matters. to beguile the time, look like the time. Bring welcome in your hand, your eye, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, yet be the serpent under it. He who is coming shall be provided for, and you shall put tonight's great business into my dispatch. And shall all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
The king!
We will speak further.
CC, our honored hostess.
Your servants ever, in every point twice done and then done double, were to poor and single business to contend against your honor's deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the heels, but he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spur, hath hauled him to his home before us. Fair noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Oh, your servants ever.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to my host. We love him highly, and will continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
Please join us in the rest of the castle.
Done. When 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all and end-all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. But in these cases, we still have judgment here. For we but teach bloody instructions, which, being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of a poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed, and then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. And besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues shall plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off. And pity, like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim, horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, only vaulting ambition which o'erleaps itself and... How now? What news?
Oh, well, he hath almost supped. Why have you left the chambers?
Hath he asked for me?
Oh, no, you not, he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would now be worn in their finest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept, and looks it now so pale and green at what it did so freely? From this point on, I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in act and valor as thou art in desire? Or wouldst thou want that which thou esteemest the ornament of life? Or live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not prey upon I would, like the old cat in the adage?
Prithee, peace! I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
Oh, what beast was then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. nor time, nor place did then adhere, and yet you do both. They have made themselves, and now their fitness does unmake you. I know, I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me, and I would, while it was smiling in my face, had plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and bashed its brains in, if I so swore, as you have done to this.
And if we fail?
We fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place and will not fail.
Ah! Good night, all. Good night.
Oh, go berry land and the white lady. Oh, go berry land and the white lady. Oh,
When Duncan is asleep, whereto his rather days-long journey soundly inviting, the two chamberlains will eye, wine and wassail, so convinced that memory, the warder of the brain, will be but a fume, and the receipt of reason a limbic only, when in swinish sleep their natures lie as in a death. What cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What's not put upon his spongy officers? Who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men, children only. For thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his chamber and used their very daggers that they have done?
Who shall receive it other? For we shall make our griefs and clamors roar upon his death.
I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
Oh, weary summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I will not sleep. Merciful powers restraining me, the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Wait, what's that? What? Who's there? Give me my sword.
A friend.
Oh, what, sir? Not yet at rest? The king's abed? He's been an unusual pleasure and shut up in measureless content. Hey, all is well. Oh, I dreamed last night the weird ones. To you, they've shown some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, when we can entreat an hour to serve, I would spend in some words upon that business, if you would grant the time.
At your kind's leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent when 'tis, it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear, I shall be counseled.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The likes to you.
Go, bid thy mistress, when my drink is ready, she ring upon the bell. And then get thee to bed. Is this a dagger I see before me? The handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, but see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou a dagger of the mind? False creation proceeding from the heat oppressed brain. I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshallest me the way that I was going. Such a one I was to use. Mine eyes are made fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. King, it is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now, o'er the one-half world, nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings, and withered murder alarmed by his sentinel, the wolf, whose howls his watch, thus, with his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides, towards his design moves like a ghost. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, lest thy very stones prate of my whereabout, and take the present horror from the time, which now suits with it. Whilst I threat, he lives. Words to the heat of deeds too cold breath gives. I go and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
The fatal bellman that gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets. The death and nature do contend whether they live or die.
There, what, ho?
Oh, I'm afeard they have awakened, and 'tis not done. It is the attempt and not the deed which confounds us. Oh, I have laid the daggers at the ready. He could not miss them. If he not resembled my father as he slept, I'd have done it. My husband!
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
Oh, I heard the owl screams and the cricket cry. Did not you call?
When?
Now.
As I descended?
Aye.
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Donald, babe.
This is a sorry sight.
Oh, 'tis a foolish thing to say, a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh and sleep, and one cried murder, that they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they said their prayers, and addressed them again to sleep.
Oh, there were two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they'd see me with these hangman's hands. Listening their fear, I could not say amen, when they did say God bless us.
Oh, consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, yet amen stuck in my throat.
Oh, we should not think upon these deeds, or else it shall make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep. The innocent sleep. Sleep which knits up the raveled sleeve of care. The death of each day's life. Sore labor's bath. Balm to hurt minds. Great nature's second course. Chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still to all the house it cried, sleep no more. Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Oh, is it thus cried? My worthy lord, you do think upon these things so brain sickly. Oh, now go, get some water and wash this filthy witness from thy hands. Why have you brought the daggers from the place? They must lie there. Now go, carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I am afraid to think what I have done. Look once again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose! Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears the painted devil. If he do bleed, then I shall gild the grooms with all, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me, when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? Ha! They pluck out mine eyes! Will all great Neptune's ocean ever wash clean the blood from these hands? No. This, my hand, will rather the multitudinous seas in incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, yet I shame to wear a heart so white. Oh, hark! I hear a knocking at the south gate. Retire we to our chambers. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy it is, then. Your constancy has left you unattended. Oh, hark more knocking. Put on your nightgown, lest occasion calls us to be watchers, and look not so poorly on your thoughts.
To know my deed were best not know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking! I would thou couldst!
Well, here's nothing indeed. If a man were the keeper of Hell's Gate, he should grow old turning the key. Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? No, Mary. Here's a farmer what hangs herself on the expectation of plenty. Well, come in time, but have napkins and out about you, because here you're gonna sweat for it. Who's there in the other devil's nest? Either stale, but could not equivocate a way to heaven. Well, come in, equivocator. Oh, who's there? Mary, it's an English tailor come hither for stealing out of his French hose. Well, come in, tailor, because here you may roast your goose. Never quiet! What are you? This place is too cold for hell. I'll devil porter it no longer. But I had thought to let in of some of all the professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. I pray you! Remember the port.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed that you should lie so late?
Mary, sir, we were carousing till the second cock.
Is thy master stirring?
Well, I think your waiter knocking has awakened him. There he is.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, though.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
How the labor we delight in physics pain. There's the door.
I shall make so bold to call, it is my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and, as they say, lamentings heard of the air, strange screams of death, and prophesying with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events, new hats to the woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror! Horror! Thunder! How can I conceive their name thee?
What is it?
What's the matter?
Oh, confusion hath made his masterpiece. Sacrilegious murder has broke up the Lord's anointed temple and stole the life of the building.
What is you say, the life?
Mean you his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See and speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Banquo, Donalbain, Malcolm, awake! Shake your downy sleeps, dead counterfeit, and look upon death itself. Ring the bell!
Speak, speak!
Oh, gentle lady, do not bid me speak. Repetition in a woman's ear was murderous and fell. Banquo! Banquo! A royal master's murdered.
Oh, what? Alas, in our house!
Too cruel anywhere doth. Prithee contradict thyself. Say it isn't so.
Had I but died an hour before this time, I had lived a blessed life.
What is the myth?
You are, and do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's murdered.
Oh, by whom?
Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were all batched with blood. So were their daggers, which we found unwiped upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury, that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise and amazed, moderate and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man! The expedition, my violent love, outrun the pauser, reason. There lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with golden blood. His gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature. Here the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with blood. Who could refrain that had a heart to love?
Help, Pinto!
Oh, look at the lady! Why do we hold our tongues that others may claim this argument for ours?
What should be spoken here that our fate hidden in auger hole may rush and seize us? Let's away. Our tears are not yet brewed.
Nor strong sorrow, upon foot motion.
Look to the lady. And when we have our naked frailties hid, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further.
Hey.
Fears and scruples shake us, but in the great hand of God I stand, and thence I fight against this undisclosed pretense of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
And so do I.
Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
What shall you do? Let's not consort with them. Show an unfelt sorrow is an office that a false man does easy. Out to England.
To Ireland, our separate fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers in men's smiles.
And this murderous shaft that shot is not yet lighted, and our safest ways to avoid the aim.
And let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that theft, which steals itself, and there's no mercy left.
I remember well, within the volume of time I have seen, hours dreadful and things strange, but this sore night have trifled former moments.
Ah, good dam, thou seest the heavens as troubled with man's act.
'Tis unnatural. Is it night's predominance, or the day's shame, that darkness does the face of earth entomb? On Tuesday last, a falcon towering in her pride of place was by mousing owl, was killed by hawked and killed.
And Duncan's horses, a thing most strange and certain.
'Tis said they eat each other.
They did so. To the amazement of mine eyes, I looked upon it. Then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He has already been named, and has gone to Scone to be invested.
Where's Duncan's body?
Carried to Comkill, the sacred storehouse of his ancestors, and guardians of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No. I to Fife.
Well, I will thither.
Well, I'm sure you'll make well done there.
His execution done on Cawdor. My liege, I have spoken with one who saw him die, who did report that very frankly he hath confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardons, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like the leaving it. He died as one who had been very studied in his death, to throw away a dearest thing he owed, as 'twere a careless strife.
There is no art. To find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now is heavy on me. Thou art so far before. The swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake me. Only I have left to say, more is thy due than more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your Highness' part is but to receive our duties.
I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, that hast no less deserved, nor must be known, no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, your majesty, the harvest is your own.
Sons, daughter, kinsmen, dames, and you, whose places are the nearest, know, we will establish our estate upon our eldest Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland. Which honor must, not unaccompanied, invest him only. But nobleness, like stars, shall shine on all deservers. Hence, to Inverness, to bind us further to you.
I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down, or else o'erleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my dark and deep desires.
On to Inverness!
To Inverness! To Inverness! Kind gentles, on to Inverness!
Cawdor, Gloms, all as the weird ones promised. I fear thou hast played most foully for it. Yet it was said that it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and mother of many kings. Why, by the verities on thee make good, should they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope?
Here's our chief guest.
Had she been forgotten, it'd been but a gap in our great feast.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, ma'am, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me to the wit our duties are with the most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon.
Aye, my lord.
You would have else desired your good advice in this day's council, but we'll take tomorrow. Is far you ride?
As far, my lord, as 'twill fill up the time twixt now till supper.
Well then, God be with you.
You as well, my lord.
Sirrah, a word. Attend those men, our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them before me. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in her royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. There is none but she, whose being I do fear. She chid the weird ones when first they put the name of king upon me, then bade them speak to her, then prophet-like they hailed her mother to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them the gracious Duncan have I murdered, put rankers in the vessel of my peace, only for them, to make them kings, the seed of Banquo kings. Rather than so, come fate into the list, and champion me to the utterance. Who's there? Have you considered of my speeches? How it was she, in times past, who held you so under fortune, which you thought had been our innocent self. This I made good to you in our last conference, and I did more. How you were borne in hand, how you were crossed, the instruments, who wrought with them, and all things else, which would to half a soul and an ocean craze say, thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
I did so and went further, which is the point of this our second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Pray for this good woman and her issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed you in the cures forever and beggared you to the grave?
We are ready, my liege.
Now, if you have a station not in the lowest rank of manhood, say it, and I will put that business into your bosoms, whose execution takes your enemy off.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world have so incensed that I am reckless what I do to spite the world.
And I another, so weary with disaster, tugging with fortune,
that I would set my lie on any chance to mend it or be rid of it.
Know you both now, Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is she mine. And in such bloody distance that her every mortal moment thrusts at my very being. And while I could, with barefaced power, sweep her from my sight and bid my will avouch it, yet I must not. For certain friends that are both hers and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail her fall, who I myself struck down. Thence it is that I to your assistance do make love, masking the deed from the common sight for sundry weighty reasons.
We will, my lord, perform as you command us.
Though our lives are...
Your spirits shine through you. Within the hour at most, I will advise you where to plant yourselves and appoint you with a perfect spy of the time, for it must be done tonight. And with her, so there be no rubs nor botches in the work, Fleance, her son, who keeps her company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his mother's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved, my lord.
Abide within. I'll come to you straight.
Not had all spent, which our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. Oh, my lord, why do you keep alone using those thoughts which should indeed have died with those they think on?
Better to be with the dead, whom we to gain our peace have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, foreign levy, nothing can shake him further.
Come on, gentle my good lord, sleep ere your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial amongst your guests tonight.
So shall I, my love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Show her eminence with both eye and tongue, unsafe the while that we must lave our honors in such flattering streams, making our faces visards to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Knowst thou not that Banquo and her Fleance lives?
Yes, but nature's copy's not etern.
Aye. There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou jocund. Ere the bat hath flown its cloistered flight, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What is to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaudst the deed. Ah, I see thou marvelest at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So prithee, go with me.
Let it come down!
Oh, treachery! Fly, Fleance, fly! Oh, treachery, thou slay! Thou mayest revenge!
There's but one down. The sun has fled.
We've lost best half of our fare.
Well, let's away and say how much is
Ah! I said,
and beer. She ate and drank enough to sail an elephant for a year. We made two and nay, two and not a luck, a two and not a nay. She took me to her sitting room and we did down the ferns. It's true what Bobby Fern said, a man was made to learn. We made two and nay, two and not a luck, a two and not a nay.
blood on thy face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
And she is dispatched?
My lord, her throat is cut. That I did for her.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he is good that did the like for Fleance. If thou didst it, thou art the nonpareil.
Most royal sir, Fleance has escaped.
Then comes my fit again. I had else been perfect, but now I am cabined, cribbed, confined, bound up in saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo's safe.
Hi, my lord. Safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenched gashes in his head, the least a death to nature.
There the grown serpent lies. Thanks for that. The worm that's fled hath nature that in time will venom breed, but no teeth for the present. Get thee gone. We'll hear ourselves again tomorrow.
May it please your highness to grace us with your royal company.
But the table's full.
Here's a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is that moves your highness?
Which of you has done this?
Done what, my good lord?
Thou canst not say I did this. Never shake thy gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
My worthy friends, to sit. My lord is often thus and has been since his youth. This fit is momentary. Upon a thought, he will be well again. And if you do note him, you will offend him and extend his passion. So, feast. Regard him not. Are you a man?
Aye. A bold one that dare look upon that which might appall the devil.
Oh, proper stuff. This is the very painting that you said. This is the air-drawn daggers which led you to Duncan. Oh, for shame. When all is done, you look but on a stool.
Prithee, see there. Behold. Look. Lo. What? Why? If thou canst not, then speak too.
Oh, what unmanned in folly.
If I stand here, I saw her.
Oh, for shame.
Blood hath been shed here now. In the olden times when the brains were out, a man would die and there an end. But now they rise again with 20 mortal murders on our crowns and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such murder is.
Oh, my worthy lord, your friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all, then I'll sit down. Give me some wine, fill full. I'll drink to the general joy of the table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would she were here. To all and to her we thirst, and all to all. Our duty is our pledge. Ah! Abhor and quit my sight! Let the earth hide thee! Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold! Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with!
Look upon this, my worthy peers, as but a thing of custom. 'Tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dare, I dare! Approach thou like the Hirkshan tiger, the roamed rhinoceros! Take any shape but that, and my firm nerves shall never tremble! Hence, horrible shadow! Unreal mockery, hence! Why, so, being gone, I am a man again. I prithee, sit still.
Oh, you have displaced the mirth and broken the meeting with such admired disorder.
Can such things be, and overcome us like a summer cloud without our special wonder? You make me strange even to the disposition that I owe. When now I think you can behold such sights, and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks, when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
Oh, I pray you speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. Oh, at once, good night. Look not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night and better health, attend his majesty.
It's a kind good night to all.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning.
What thinkest thou that Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?
Well, have you sent for him, sir?
I hear it by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them but in his house I keep a servant feed. I will tomorrow to the weird ones. More shall they speak, for now I am bent to know by the worst means the worst.
You lack the season of all nature. Sleep.
Come, let's to sleep. This strange and self-abuse, it's the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young, indeed.
How now, Hecate? You look angrily.
Have I not reason?
Pilgrims as you are.
Saucy and overbold.
How did you dare to trade and traffic with Macbeth in riddles and affairs of death? And I,
the mistress of your charms,
the
close contriver of all hearts,
was never called to bear my part or show the glory of our arts.
And
which is worse,
all you have done
hath been but for a wayward son,
spiteful
and wrathful, who, as others do,
loves for his own ends,
not for you. But make amends now.
Get you gone, and at the pit of Acheron meet me in the morning.
Thither
he will come to know his destiny.
Your vessels and your spells provide, your charms and everything beside.
I am for the air.
This night I'll spend unto a dismal and a fatal end. Great business must be wrought ere noon.
Upon the corner of the moon there hangs a vaporous drop profound. I'll catch it ere it come to ground.
And that, distilled by magic sprites, shall raise such artificial sprites as by the strength of their illusion shall draw him on to his confusion.
Ha! He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and bear he hopes but wisdom, grace, and fear. And you all know security is mortal's chiefest enemy.
Enemy. Hark!
I am called. I am called. I am called. I am called. I am called.
Come, let's make haste. She'll soon be back again.
Gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth,
Mary, he was dead.
and the right valiant Banquo walked too late, whom you may say, if it please you, Fleance killed, for Fleance fled.
Men must not walk too late.
Who cannot want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious father?
Damn fact.
How it did grieve Macbeth. Did he not straight in pious rage the two delinquents tear?
That were the slaves of drink and thralls of sleep?
Was not that nobly done?
And I do think that had he Duncan's sons under his key,
As an't please heaven he shall not.
they should find what were to kill a father.
So should Fleance. I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Sir, can you tell me where he bestows himself?
Malcolm, son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant holds the due of birth, lives in the English court. Thither Macduff is gone, to pray the holy king upon his aid, that we may again bring meat to our tables, sleep to our nights, free from our feasts and banquets, bloody knives, do faithful homage, all which we pine for now. And this report hath so exasperate the king that he prepares for some attempt of war.
Sent Macbeth to Macduff?
He did, and was answered with the absolute, "Sir, not I." The cloudy messenger turns me his back and hums, as if to say, "You'll rue the time that clouds me with this answer."
And that might well advise him to a caution, to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel, fly to the court of England and unfold his message ere he come, that a swift blessing may soon return to this, our suffering country, under a hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with him.
Harpier cries, "'Tis time! 'Tis time!"
All around the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails throw. Toad that under cold stone days and nights, 31 venoms weltered sleeping has got. Boil thou first in the charmed pots.
Fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Fillet of a fenny snake. In the cauldron boil, bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog. Wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blind worm's sting. Lizard's leg and owlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble. Like a hell breath, boil and bubble.
Double, toil and trouble.
Fire burn and cauldron bubble. Scale of dragon. Tooth of wolf. Witch's mummy. Maw and gall of a raven salt sea shark. Root of hemlock digged in the dark. Gall of goat and slips of yew, silvered in the moon's eclipse. Nose of Turk and Tartar's lips. Finger of a burst-strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab, makes the gruel thick and slab. Add thereto a tiger's children for the ingredients of our double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Cool it with a baboon's blood. Then the charm is firm and good. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you, by that which you profess.
Speak.
Demand. Will answer.
Wouldst thou rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters?
Call him. Let me see him.
Come high or low, thyself and offer salvation.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
Listen to him, but speak not to it.
Macbeth! 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 Beware, Macduff! Beware the Thane of Fife! Dismiss me! Enough!
Whate'er thou art, for thy good caution thanks. Thou hast harped my fear aright. But a word more.
He will not be commanded. But here's another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth! Macbeth! Macbeth!
Had I 3 ears, I'll hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for no one born of woman shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? And yet I'll make assurance double sure, and take a bond of faith. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder. this that rises like the issue of a king and wears upon its baby brow the round and top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it.
Take no care. Who frets, who chafes, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquished be, until great Birnam Wood, to high Dunsinane Hill, shall come against him.
Well, that shall never be. For who can impress the forest? Bid the tree unfix its earthbound root. Sweet bodements, good. High-placed Macbeth shall live the lease of nature. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing more. Tell me if thou art can show so much. Will Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more!
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall upon you. Let me know.
Show his eyes and grieve his heart.
Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Down! Thy crown does sear mine eyeballs, and thy hair. Thou second gold-bound brow is like the first, and a third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? A fourth, start, eyes. What, will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? And another, a seventh, I'll see no more. But an eighth appears, which bears a glass that shows me many more. Oh, horrible sight! I see 'tis true, for the blood-boltered Banquo smiles at me and points to them for hers. What? Can this be so?
Aye, sir, all this is so.
But why stands Macbeth thus amazedly?
Come, I'll charm the air to make a sound.
And while you perform your antic round,
That this great king may kindly say, our duties did his welcome pay. Ha!
Saw you the weird ones?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. But I did hear the galloping of horses. Who was it came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word. Macduff is fled to England.
To England?
Aye, my good lord.
Time! Thou anticipatest my dire exploits. From this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. And to crown the thought with action, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise. Seize Fife. Put to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No more boasting like a fool. This I'll do before my purpose cool. But no more sights.
What have we done to make him fly this land? His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom? To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansions, and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in the nest against the owl. All is the fear, and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom when the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest cuz, I pray you school yourself, but for your husband. He is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves. When we hold rumor of what we fear and yet know not what we fear, but float on a wild and violent sea each way and move. Take my leave of you. I shall not be gone long, but I'll be here again. Things at worst will cease, or else climb upward to what they were before. Pretty cousins! Oh, blessings upon you! Fathered they are, and yet they're fatherless. I am so much a fool should I stay longer. It would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sirrah, your father's dead. What will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, Mother.
What, with worms and flies?
What I get, and me now, and so do they. But my father's not dead, for your sake.
Yes, your father is dead. How wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy him to sell him again.
I speakest with all thy wit.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
One that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Everyone.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
The liars and swearers are fools, for there are liars and swearers enough to beat the honest man and hang them up.
Oh, God help thee, poor monkey. How wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you do for him. If you were not, it were a good sign that we should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkest.
Excellent, fair day. Be not found here. Hence with your children.
Heaven preserve you. I dare abide no longer.
But whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But I remember now. I am of this earthly world, where to do harm is often laudable, and to do good accounted dangerous folly. But what are these faces?
Where is your husband?
I hoped in no place so unsanctified where such as thou may find him. He's a traitor!
Thou liars, thou jag-haired villain!
You egg! Young fry of treachery!
Quickly! Quickly! You must not be found here! Follow me!
This tyrant, who so named blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you, yet.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. That which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. But all things foul shall wear the brows of grace. Yet grace must still look so.
I have lost my hopes.
Perchance, there where I did find my doubts. Why in that rawness left you wife and child, those strong knots of love, without leave taking. I pray you, let not my jealousies be your dishonors, but mine own safeties. You might be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Fare thee well, Lord. I would not be the villain that thou thinkest.
Be not offended. I speak not in absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think there would be hands uplifted in my right. Here from gracious England, I have offer of goodly thousands. But, for all that, once I have tread upon this tyrant's head, wear it upon my sword. Yet my poor country should have more sins than it had before, more suffer, more sundry ways than ever by him who shall succeed.
Where would he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vices so grafted that when they shall be opened, black Macbeth shall seem as pure snow.
Not in the legions of horrid hell is there a devil more damned and evils to top Macbeth.
I grant him bloody, false, deceitful, smacking of every sin that has a name. But there's no bottom. None in my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, your maids could not fill up the cistern of my lust. Were I king, I should cut off the nobles from their land, desire his jewels, this other's house. My more having would be but a sauce to make me hunger more.
All things are portable with other graces, Wade.
But I have none! The king becoming graces, justice, verity, temperance, mercy, stableness. I have no relish of them. If such a one is fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live! O nation miserable, when shall I see thy wholesome days again, when the truest issue of thy throne, by his own interdiction, stands accursed? The evils that thou repeatest upon thyself have banished me from Scotland.
Macduff, this noble passion hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth, by many of these trains, has sought to win me into his power. But God above, veil between thee and me, for even now I do adjourn these taints and blames that I laid upon myself for strangers to my nature. My first false speaking was this upon myself. What I am truly is thine and my poor country's to command. Now, we'll together, and the chance of goodness be like a warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once, 'tis hard to reconcile. Come, who goes there? Oh, ever gentle cousin, come hither. Stand Scotland where it did?
Alas, poor country. It's almost afraid to know itself. Cannot be called our mother, but our grave.
What's the newest grief?
Each minute teems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
They were well at peace when I did leave them. When I came hither to transport the tidings, which I am heavily borne, there ran rumor of many worthy fellows that were out. I saw the tyrant's power afoot. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers and make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Beats their comfort. We are coming thither. Gracious England has lent us 10,000 men.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like, but I have words to be howled out into the desert air, where hearing should not latch them.
What concern they? The general cause, or it is a fee grief due to a single breast?
Let your ears not despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound ever yet they heard.
I guess it.
Your castle is surprised. Your wife and babe savagely slaughtered, to relate the manner of her to have the death of you.
All my pretty ones? All?
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from hence. My wife killed too?
I have said.
Be comforted. Let us make medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. Did you say all? All? Oh, hellkite, all? All my pretty chickens and their dam in one fell swoop?
Dispute it like a man!
I shall do so! But I must also feel it like a man. Would the heavens look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff, not for their own demerits, but for mine, fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes, or braggart with my tongue. But gentle heavens, bring forth this fiend of Scotland and myself within my sword's length. Set him.
Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Macbeth is ripe for the shaking. Power above, put on their instruments. It is war!
When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed, Yet all this while in a most sound sleep.
A great perturbation in nature to receive once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, madam, which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her. She has light by her continually. 'Tis her command.
You see her eyes are open.
Aye, but their sense is shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her to seem thus washing her hands. I've known her continue in this a quarter of an hour.
Yet here's a spot.
Hark! She speaks!
Out and spot. 1, 2, well, 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie! A soldier and a feared, what we need fear, who knows it, when no one can call our power to contend. Yet who'd have thought the old man had so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife, she had a wife. Where is she now? Oh, what? Ne'er my hands ever be clean. No more of that, my lord, no more. You mar all with this starving.
Go to, you have known what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not, I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she is known.
Hear all the smell of blood still. Not the perfumes in Arabia should sweeten this little hand. No.
What a sigh is there! The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my body for all the dignity of the whole body.
This disease is beyond my practice.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I'll tell you yet again. Banquo is buried. She cannot come out on's grave.
Even so.
Oh, to bed. To bed. There's a knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. Oh, what's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician God forgive us all. Watch after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance and still keep eyes upon her. So, good night. My mind, she has made it, and amazed my sight. Think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Now does his title hang loose about him, like a giant's robe upon tiny feet.
Who then shall blame his pestered senses to recoil and start, when all that is within him does condemn itself for being there?
Well, march we on, to give obedience where 'tis Julio.
Make we our march towards Burnham.
For Scotland.
Macbeth, no man that's born of woman shall e'er have power upon thee. The devil damn thee, thou cream-faced loon. Where gost thou that goose look?
There are 10,000
Geese, villain?
soldiers, sir.
What soldiers, wayface?
The English force, so please you?
Take thy face hence! Seaton! I am sick at heart when I behold. Seaton, I say! Ha! This push will cheer me ever or unseat me now. Seaton! What news more?
All is confirmed, which was reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Bring me my armor.
It is not needed yet.
Bring me my armor. How does thy patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick coming fancies that rob her from her rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased, pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow that lays upon the heart?
Therein, the patient must minister to herself.
Throw physic to the dogs. I'll none of it. Come get my staff and put on mine armor. Doctor, hearest thou of any purgative drugs that would scour these English hence?
Aye, my good lord. Your royal preparation makes us hear things.
Ha! Bring it after me. I'll have no fear of death nor bane till Burnham Wood come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane away and clear, profit again should hardly draw me here.
What we say we have and what we owe.
They come!
Burn up the banners of the outward wall. The cry is still they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Let them lie there till famine and the ague eat them up. What was that noise?
It's the cry of women, my good lord.
I had almost forgot the taste of fear. The time was my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, but I have supped full with horrors. Direness so familiar to my slaughterous thoughts cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry?
Queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter! There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. Creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It's a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Gracious my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say it, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon, methought the wood began to move.
Fire and slave!
No, I say within this 3 mile may you see it coming, a moving grove.
If thou speakst false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang till the famine cling thee. Now I begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not till Burnham Wood come to Dunsinane, for now a forest comes to Dunsinane. Arm, arm, and out! If that which he avouches does appear, there is no flying hence, nor tarrying here. I begin to grow weary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell, blow wind, come wreck. At least we'll die with harness on our back. Now hear now, Ulysses Chris start out, and show like those you are. Not be afraid to hear it. Macbeth.
The devil himself cannot pronounce a title more hateful to my ear.
More fearful.
How liest thou, horrid tyrant? With my sword I'll prove the lie thou speakest.
But swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn, brandished by one that's a woman born.
Tyrant, show thy face! And thou best slain, and with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on my own sword? Whilst I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound, turn!
Of all men else I have avoided thee, but get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
My voice is in my sword.
Thou losest labor. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
Then, let the angel thou still serves tell thee that Macbeth was from his mother's womb untimely wet.
Accursed be the tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man. And let these juggling fiends no more be believed that palter with us in a double sense. I'll not fight with thee!
Then yield, ye coward, and we'll place thee, as our rare monsters are, painted on a pole, and under it, here may you see the tyrant!
I will not yield to kiss the ground before your or to be fated by the rabble's curse. No burden would become to Dunsinane, and thou opposed be of no woman born. Yet I'll try the last. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him that first tries whole. Enough.
I ward our friends we miss were safe arrived.
Here comes newer comfort.
Hail, King, for though thou art, behold, here stands the usurper's cursed head. Time is free. Hail, King of Scotland.
Hail, King of Scotland!
My thanks and kinsmen, what's left to do? Then calling home our friends abroad, fled the snares of the watchful tyranny of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen. This and what needful else that calls upon us by the grace of grace, we will perform in measure, time, and place. Now thanks to all at once, and to each one whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.
When shall we three meet again?
of doing this, but we want to say these kids, Stella is going to be here throughout the run, and these kids, this is Maddie Mae and this is Quinn. Yeah, and this is their last night of performing. They had